Welcome. Our big story tonight. The Bank of Ghana has reduced the policy rate by 200 basis points to 23.5%. This was after it met last week to review the health of the economy. Now, the Bank of Ghana says it reduced the policy rate significantly because there's no serious threat to the country's economic outlook. The governor of the central bank, Dr. Abdul Nasir Issahaku, announced this at a press briefing in Accra.
Very marginal growth in real terms. Now, if you take that, what that means is it may have very marginal impact on liquidity in the market and perhaps less impact on foreign exchange because it's very marginal. If you consider that, from our assessment of risk to inflation and growth, if you consider that the last time, and that should tie in to Suleiman's this thing, from the last MPC, inflation has come down significantly. So which means that implicitly, and I said that there has been some tightening. And per our analysis, there was scope for even reduction to about 230 basis points if we were to maintain the status quo as at the last MPC meeting. There was scope for that, but we only reduced by 200 basis points, also in support of growth.
Now, moving on, Minister of State designate in charge of public procurement, Adjoa Safo, is assuring she will push for government contracts to be given to local manufacturers. She made the promise earlier today when she appeared before Parliament's Appointments Committee, which has begun vetting the President's latest ministerial nominees.
Actually, there's a World Bank report that indicates that in developing countries, of which Ghana is one, 70 to 80% of our total revenue goes down the drain through procurement. As a country, we have done a lot in reforming our public financial administration system. We are focused on budgeting, and so we enacted the PFM law. In between budgeting and auditing, and the Auditor General is also giving the right to audit what our spendings are as a government. In between budgeting and auditing is procurement. So we need to place as much emphasis on procurement to save our taxpayers' money from going down the drain. It is a government policy, and we stated it in our manifesto, that we would ensure that 70% of all government contracts go to locals. And Mr. Chairman, this is a way to promote our local manufacturers, suppliers, contractors, and to build their capacity. So if I'm given the nod, together with government, we will create the enabling environment for these contractors who are locals to build their capacity. Again, out of the 70%, it is again government policy, and it is in our manifesto, that 30% of the 70% will be procurement given to companies owned by women, companies owned by persons who are physically challenged, and again, companies that are established under the Youth Enterprise Fund.
Now, away from the ministerial vetting, and some pension trustees are currently exploring the use of mobile money services for payment of pension contributions. The pilot program, which began some 2 months ago, is aimed at making it easier for informal sector workers to pay their contributions. There's more in this report. Informal sector workers constitute about 85% of the working population here in Ghana, but a majority of them are not roped into any pension scheme. Pensions trustees hope that using the mobile money service would make it less cumbersome for informal sector workers to make contributions under the Tier 3 pension scheme. The National Pensions Regulatory Authority, NPRA, says it would assess the progress of the pilot project initiated 2 months ago and consider whether or not to adopt it after 6 months. Emmanuel Ewuku Dagbanu is manager of corporate affairs at the NPRA.
Now, most of them are also trying to introduce this mobile money payment system into the market so that people can be in the comfort of their home and then just pay their contribution, not necessarily going to queue in the bank. So it is making it very flexible for the people in the informal sector to also contribute towards their retirement.
Okay. So how far have we come with the mobile money payments? Is this something we are really working towards in order to make this easier?
Yeah, we are working towards that. We have started piloting. Some of the trustees have started piloting this, and we hope that it will take good effect, and then we can start from there.
Mr. Dagbenu spoke to Joy Business at the launch of Old Mutual Ghana's Pension Trust. Interim Group CEO of Old Mutual Ghana, George Addison, explains why the financial solutions firm is now venturing into pension solutions.
Old Mutual Ghana acquired two companies, the Old Mutual Life Assurance Company and Old Mutual Pension Trust. You know, we acquired Provident Life and Provident Pension Trust. And now we have been able to rebrand, we have been able to repackage the life business, and it's doing so well. So that's the right time to also launch the pension scheme. And that is why we are doing the pensions, we are launching the pension trust business now.
Okay. So what's going to be the focus in terms of the services that you are going to be offering?
The focus is going to be on efficiency. Old Mutual has a lot of experience. We have actually been in this business for over 170 years. So in terms of experience, we have that experience, we have the trust, and we're also accountable.
Old Mutual Pensions Trust Company will provide pension management and administrative services under the Tier 2 and 3 pension schemes. Now, the National Board for Small-Scale Businesses has rolled out the highly efficient Japanese production concept Kaizen in 4 regions of Ghana. It is part of a national expansion program to improve quality and productivity in small-scale Ghanaian industries. The Kaizen concept is famous for unearthing giant Japanese manufacturers such as Toyota on the world stage.
Kaizen is a Japanese philosophy and methods of quality and productivity which are key for Japanese industrial development and applied techniques. Toyota and many other Japanese manufacturers who have gone global rode on the principles of Kaizen to achieve and break boundaries. The NBSSI and JICA launched the Kaizen International Project in 2012 to strengthen capacity of NBSSI on its business development services provision and facilitation in the target areas. The project started in the Ashanti region on a pilot and based on the successes of the first phase. The second phase, National Kaizen Project, was launched in 2015 to cover the whole country. Currently, the northern, Bono Ahafo and Ashanti regions are benefiting from the second phase of the project. Greater Accra and the central regions were also recently roped into the project. Executive Director of NBSSI, Lukman Abdul Rahim, says Kaizen is the key to solving the country's unemployment problem.
Specifically, when Kaizen concepts are introduced into the production processes of the small-scale enterprises, we are looking at how to improve upon the quality and productivity of their products, and also how to reduce the time that is being spent to engage in the production, as well as the management of waste, and also how to manage workspace for enhanced efficiency and effectiveness in production. So far, the firms that we have introduced Kaizen activities into have made or given out testimonies to the extent of which the Kaizen has transformed their businesses. One of the areas has to do with their profit margins. Definitely, if you increase productivity and reduce costs in terms of time management and resource management, it translates into higher productivity, which also eventually results in higher profit margins. And the end result is that these businesses get to be expanded, and they are also able to create more jobs for the youth and also the unemployed in Ghana. So we believe that the Kaizen philosophy or concept provides one of the major critical solutions that we have to improving industrial development in Ghana.
Japanese ambassador to Ghana is optimistic that Ghana would be one of the most successful countries, especially in West Africa, in development and promotion of SMEs if the concept is fully adopted.
It is hoped that wherever Kaizen is introduced, productivity would be increased by at least 30%. I hope it could be an answer to your question. Kaizen is certainly the core element to achieve quality Africa in this regard. We are very much grateful that the government of Ghana, through relevant ministries and agencies, especially NBSSI, has been instrumental in implementing the Kaizen project. It is my hope that Japan will continue to enjoy the solid cooperation of the government and people of Ghana so that we can work together through this Kaizen project to develop requisite skills and to improve institutional capacity for SMEs to contribute to achieve quality Africa.
Some successful SMEs on the program were awarded for their success in the application of the Kaizen concept by JICA.
Now, producers of Onga food seasoning products, Pomasido Ghana Limited, is confident its new Guinness World Record will go a long way to position the brand on the international market. Onga over the weekend broke the Guinness World Record for the longest feast table at the Independence Square in Accra. The event showcased Ghana's food culture to the world with over 3,000 invited guests treated to assorted local dishes. It makes Pomasido the first Ghanaian company to make it into the World Records book. Charles Aite has more.
The Guinness World Record for the longest feast table has now been taken by producers of Onga food seasoning products at the Independence Square in Accra. Speaking at the landmark event held at the Independence Square, Managing Director of Onga, Dek Larryman, said the event was also aimed at showcasing Ghana's rich food culture, especially as the country marks its 60th anniversary.
Onga, we can proudly say that I think the Ghanaians like our products and patronize our products. So we've been very happy doing business in Ghana.
Brands manager of Onga, Emily Ntego, noted Onga will be using its achievement to the Guinness World Record to showcase the potential of Ghanaian dishes on the world market.
We expect that our patrons, having seen that we have gone into the world limelight, they should know that the quality of the product is unrivaled and it will continue to deliver in the pot.
So far, Onga remains the only Ghanaian multinational company to have broken the world record for the longest feast table, having taken over from Saudi Arabian market leader in the edible oils sector, Afia International Company, which held the record with a table of 1,508 meters in length.
Interesting stuff. Let's turn to an issue of concern, illegal mining. The menace continues to be a bane on the country's mineral resource development. The practice has led to widespread pollution of water bodies and eventually pushing the country to the brink of a water crisis. Well, today, the Lands and Natural Resources Minister John Peter Amewu began some engagement with the Chinese authorities to try and curb the practice. As a first step in the process, Ghana intends to track the over $2.3 billion worth of gold exported to China last year.
Also, we come here to transfer some information to our Shaolin population about the China's policy and the Ghana's policy about mining. And also, we come here to discuss with our Shaolin population, let them to respect the Ghana's law and some related regulations, and also advise them to make some other business here, not only mining. So I'm very appreciative for the minister to give us this opportunity. We have a meeting here to discuss how to solve these problems. And also, I hope by this meeting, by this meeting, the minister can give us some latest information or policies about Ghana government to treat deal with the mining business. So I hope our Shaolin members here to make cooperation with local Ghananese to operation legally.
Attempt to do this, we realize that this quantum, of money, $2.3 billion, worth of gold was shipped out of this country. How that is done, we are still investigating, and I think at the appropriate time we'll come out with our report. I have informed the Ministry of Finance. The Ministry of Finance has put together a team involving the forensic unit of the police, the Yoko divisions, and some members of my outfit to see how we can, find out what actually have gone wrong and what were the causes of such a huge amount of money. Yeah.
You made mention of metal scale mining. How different is this going to be? Because already from what we are seeing, it's been destroyed already. How are we going to...
The environment is being destroyed. You see, comparatively, we will agree that the large scale miners, though they are also destroying the environment, not on a vast scale as what we are witnessing. The mid-tier, what it seems to do is that it will be properly regulated. The sizes of the acreages are going to increase in numbers, and so that there will be some element of regulation, proper regulation. If you are coming for a mid-tier regime, it's just going to be the same as the large-scale regime. And so the small scale, we're going to take out the use of the heavy earth-moving equipment that we are seeing currently. The excavators, the D6, the D8, we'll take that one out from the small scale. You recollect that, when we were very young, small scale mining actually was a small scale. When our fathers go in and they do the digging within, just to go and look for something small on a small scale within the household. That is the purpose. But the introduction of the earth-moving equipment has taken that benefit out. And so what we want to do now is to regulate properly that area by introducing the mid-tier, where Ghanaians can, of course, partner with the foreigners. By doing that, they were going to conform strictly to the rules and then the regulation.
CEO of the Minerals Commission, Dr. Tony Obeng, also shared some thoughts on this development.
We, as a country, I think we have allowed this issue of illegal mining to fester and grow to this level where now our water bodies are really seriously being negatively impacted. Now, it is a suggestion that is worth looking at, a temporary ban. Okay. It's worth looking at. You have to consider all other things, including the legal basis for that, and whether those who already have their licenses would also take it kindly, and whether we should not deal with those who are doing illegal mining. Because the problem we have had in the past is that we are not dealing with this issue as illegality. We are not dealing with this issue as criminality. We think it should be regulated. I think we have all the regulations. We have all the good laws where people from other places come to copy. We have not been able to enforce our laws. In terms of the people, the kind of the profile of people who participate in illegal mining, you are absolutely right that the kind of people there you will not believe. You will find big people, big politicians, big religious people, people praying for others to go and do galamsey and make money and all that. But the most exciting thing for now is the mobilization of public opinion. I can see there's huge public opinion now against illegal mining. That's so important that the public is now mobilized against illegal mining.
Now turning to Agric now, and Ghana's Agricultural Extension Officer says that farmer ratio has reached 1,000 to 1 farmer to 1,000, one extension officer rather to 1,000 farmers. Now, to this end, the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, MOFA, is developing innovative mechanisms to reach out to farmers and stakeholders in the agricultural value chain. Speaking in an interview with Joy Business, a director at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Theophilus Osei, also lamented the situation needs more sacrifice from stakeholders in order to develop a sustainable agricultural sector to improve the nation's food security.
According to a director at the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Theophilus Osei, The call for such groups is essential because government has started providing group-based extension services to farmers. This, he said, is in line with a new approach to deal with the problem of inadequate extension officers in the agricultural sector. He made the call on the sidelines of a workshop on agricultural sustainability in Accra.
Using the group approach to holding discussions and meetings and training.
You think that's the best option?
It is one of the key options that we are using in the face of the low numbers of our agricultural extension agents in the field. All right, it's one of the key areas. Then we also engage in radio and TV educational programs, awareness creation.
So in a way, you are having self-extension officers.
Sure. Using the farmer-based organization members, we get them to a point, we give the information to them so that when they go back to their communities, we expect them also to meet with their group members and then share these insights with them. There is follow-up from our low numbers of AEs.
He further called on the media to help in disseminating information on agricultural and best practices for farming.
With time, we'll get the information will get to more people as we want it to be. And this is where we appreciate the fact that media should engage us some more and then know what we are about, our roles and responsibilities, and how we are rolling these policies and strategies out so that together you help us help our farmers so that they can help us also by way of producing to feed us.
The workshop was attended by agricultural research officers, farmers, and district agricultural managers, among others.
Time to catch our breath on Business Live. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Our interview of the day now, and all is set for the commencement of this year's EduFair quiz on financial literacy, sponsored by Multimedia Group and Royal Bank. The initiative by the EduFair Foundation is expected to help business students in selected tertiary institutions to have a brief background information about the operations of the financial sector before coming out of school. Now, some students have been sharing their thoughts on or the expectations of the event.
I think that it's going to make us see the practical thing, because in school we are always learning theory, what is this, what is that, but this program is going to help us know the practical aspect of banking.
Is it the first time you are participating in such a competition?
Yes, please.
So what are you expecting?
Well, I'm expecting nothing but to win this competition for my school, Methodist University College.
Okay, let me come to the guy. How prepared are you for this competition?
Well, I'm confident, and I've read through the materials they gave us, and I'm confident that definitely we can progress and win the ultimate. Yeah.
Are you one of the people who are representing your schools?
Yes, I am actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which areas are you mastered in, that when questions on such issues come, you think you can be able to, be on top of the game?
That's a trick question. Well, a lot of materials were given to us, from investments, from banking operations, from law, business banking law, business law, and then from credit management. So, at least I've read through the materials and I'm confident. Yeah.
And now let me ask the lady. I mean, many a time when such competitions come, it's only the guys who go into it. What's motivated you to enter into this competition?
I wouldn't say I see myself as the best student, but then I think that I have the ability to be able to participate in this competition. I am confident when it comes to studying. Yeah, I'm really confident. Then I probably think that I get my help from God. I'm always motivated. God.
So let me ask you a final question. At the end of this program, what do you expect? What do you want to see? Are you coming out from this quiz and that is all? Or what is there anything that you are expecting to see at the end of this quiz?
Okay, well, aside the fact that it's a competition, I believe it's an opportunity to learn. And I'm actually here to learn a lot. I have an open mind. So I expect that after here, I'll not only have, the idea of academia and, what is this, explain this, but I'll actually have more knowledge on the practicality of what we learn in school. And also the fact that I can network with other people and get to know, especially from the sponsors and all those things. It's a great opportunity.
All right.
And that's it from us. We'll be back same time tomorrow. Stay tuned.